First and foremost, I would like to say this has been a long time coming. We always talk about sitting down, talking about something to this nature. So I want to honor the pleasure to be able to do this first and foremost.
Yes, sir.
But now it's time to get the meat and potatoes. So for you, we always talk about the organization aspect of things and how the way we were brought up and things of the nature. So for you, what organization you was involved with and how it affected you in your childhood and your adulthood?
Well, I was involved and I was affiliated with two separate organizations in the beginning.
Okay.
I was affiliated with the Mickey Cobra Stones, which was a branch of the Black Peace Foundation.
Okay.
The Mickey Cobra Stones was pretty much predominantly my family. Okay. It was a smaller unit in my community, and they held a lot of weight on the blocks that I was raised on. They held a lot of weight on the school I went to. They held a lot of weight with the stores that I attended, and it was just maybe 10 guys at the time. But I watched these 10 guys as teenagers be giants in the community. So I knew they was part of the overall branch of the Black Stone Nation, but I believe the Mickey Cobra Stones was the end all to be all. I looked at them as my heroes. Okay. They was my heroes.
Okay. They beef with a lot of sets and stuff like that, but originally at his time, he had beef inside his organization, and then he had beef on the outside also. So pretty much Mickey was getting to the point where he was trying to do his own thing and wanted to be, he didn't want to take nothing from people, man. He wanted to do his own thing, and he didn't want to just be doing things that he didn't want to do. I don't want to say exactly how, but you know what I'm saying? And some say that might have been the reason why he got killed. Some say he might have got killed in a retaliation from the mob. Because you got to understand, these guys went to war with the mob back then. The mob, they assassinated a couple of guys in the mob.
All right, so who am I here with today?
You here with the world famous Ace Music Beats.
Okay, Ace, what gang, part of the gang culture were you affiliated with, and how has that helped you as an adult?
My affiliation was with the Almighty Conservative Vice Lords, and as an adult, that helped me with discipline, you know what I mean, and following leadership, and just overall commit with the organization and helping one another. Not everything that has to do with gang is violence related. Gangs are organizations that help their community, and growing up on the west side of Chicago, what I've seen with my eyes are our gangs, our vice lords help the community instead of terrorizing the community.
We're dealing in two worlds, one black and one white, or one poor, the have and the have-nots. But the guys over here in the vice lords, the people over here in the Lawndale area, want their piece of the pie. And they're willing to do their homework, like I said again, to get it.
What do you think the disconnect with the gang culture that you was taught as a child and the culture that's being taught to these children in 2022 per se?
I think it has to do with a lack of leadership in the communities. When I was growing up, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 84, so you gotta go from 84 to 94. It was leadership in the hood, and I grew up on the west side of Chicago, so I lived on the west side of Chicago from 84, I want to say, to about 93, and I moved to the south. I moved to 67th and Bell. So me as a shorty, coming to a whole different situation. Like, I didn't have nobody with me, so the leadership wasn't there. But as far as the movements that I was around now, I've been taken away from my existence being around more of rival gangs as a shorty, and I survived. So I feel like, I just feel like growing up in the west side just really helped me as a vice lord become tough enough to stand up to rival gangs.
Brothers and sisters from the various organizations that's within your city, be they BD, be they GD, be they Stone, be they Lord, they all one nation, in peace.
Peace.
So
I say my association with with the gang life and gangster disciples is through my family. You know what I'm saying? My family, the neighborhood that I grew up in Chicago, South Side. You know, that was the predominant organization of the area type shit. You know what I'm saying? That provided safety, security, protection, that taught the youth in the streets, you know what I'm saying, what kind of creeds or what kind of fundamentals in life to live your life by. You know?
Gang culture developed you as a black man in today?
It's taught me some morals and stuff on how to live my life, ethics in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? How to be loyal to another individual, how to stand on your word. You know what I'm saying? How to stand your ground, how to offend yourself under pressure. Also, how to also be a team player. You see what I'm saying? Because the same token, shit, it's a group of individuals, so you kind of got to learn how to socialize. You got to learn how to mingle. You got to learn how to get along, even when you don't get along, especially when it's within your unit. So, it's kind of breeding me in that kind of way from an early age, you know.
All right, Waller Skater Bradley, you have the floor. Explain just what your connections are now to the gangster disciples, and what did you mean? You said it was taken out of context.
Yeah, it was really taken out of context.
What did you mean that you're still a gangster disciple?
The question was asked when I went over to the Boys and Girls Club, which he's never set a foot in. Okay, I went to the Boys and Girls Club because it was questions about the boats that had been taken up out of there because the machine had broke down. This battery reporter was asking me questions. So you a gangster disciple? You a gangster disciple? You a gangster disciple? I said, okay, if I'm a gangster disciple, then I'm a gangster disciple that will help stop the killing in the community. That's what I said. Okay.
And as far as you go, what organization were you a part of, and you know, how did that entrench you in life?
For me, I was a part of the Gangster Disciple organizations, but for me, the growth and development aspect of it was what was intriguing to me, but I didn't grasp the concept until I was in my later years, my late 20s, early 30s. A lot of that literature that was out was basically to help us improve our community, and that was the part that was intriguing to me. So as far as like the organizations, what they had within the community, the gang violence and things of that nature, I was involved with it to a degree, but what stood out for me was how the way they was rebuilding their community, and that was the part that I liked. That, like you said, some of those individuals were giants to me because I didn't have a dad growing up. You know, it wasn't my fault, but I needed that feeling, you know what I mean? So as far as those were the people that was around in my community, that I was the only people that I had to look up to, being a product of my environment. So that's what I was drawn to the most. A lot of these guys seemed like at that time they had their stuff intact, they were well on their way, they knew what they wanted out of life, and they were teaching a lot of us how not to go into the negative aspects within the organizations. So that was the part that got to me, and I took to it. I kind of grew up in the ladder, you know, and being around a lot of older people, seeking their knowledge, so it was more beneficial to me, and still to this day, it affected me in a positive way, but also in a negative way, by going in and out of prison, not learning how to let go those vicious ways, you know. But now I'm at the age where I'm at, a lot of it I understand now, and that's what I'm trying to do, give back to our community.